Hello, hello. Happy Sunday. What are you grateful for today? It is time for the Global Good News Challenge, my day 3 of 8 of the Global Good News Challenge. Now you can participate in the August challenge anytime within August. It's absolutely free. It's a great way to not only help decrease depression and suicide rates out there, but also to lift your energy and lift the energy of people who see your Global Good News Challenge. Now, it's a very simple format. All you do is just share your name, what you do or what you like to do, 3 things you're grateful for at a minimum. You can share more things you're grateful for, but 3 minimum, and at least 1 piece of good news. Okay, and every day for 8 days for August, because it is the 8th month, we've got 8 days in a row. Now, if you miss a day, go back to day 1 and start again. Okay, all the details are at the top of the Global Good News Challenge Facebook page, which you'll find linked in my bio. If you go to linktr.ee/Aldwyn, you'll see the link for the Global Good News Challenge Facebook page, and it's in a whole lot of other places online as well. It's on our website, it's on, Eventbrite, a whole lot of other places. So now, my challenge for today, hi, I'm Aldwyn Alternate, also known as the Media Queen. What I do is I help you be seen, heard, and known amongst all the noise through mass media exposure. That is through TV, radio, print, and online media. 3 things I'm grateful for today is I am grateful I'm back on the Gold Coast. I've had an amazing week in Sydney. It's been absolutely phenomenal, which I'll share with my good news. Today, I spent some time connecting with my 5 chickens. They are getting so big. Oh my gosh, they're only a few months old, but they are getting so big and they bring so much joy. And connecting with the animals at the house too, the cats, the dog, connecting with nature. It's been a beautiful day, doing some gardening as well, and I got some work done and did some personal development work as well, and got some cleaning done, and did a whole lot of things around the house, which was really grounding. I think it's really important to do that, to ground yourself wherever you are. I know for a long time I was often running away from home because, I had issues with being alone. However, there's a big difference between being lonely and being alone. And alone, actually, if you split it up, means all one. There's nothing wrong with being on your own, because we're actually never alone. If you believe in God, spirit, source, we are never actually alone. And I'm very grateful for that. I'm grateful for my family, for my friends. I'm grateful I live on the Gold Coast, although lately I have been based between the Gold Coast and Sunshine Coast because my parents are very fragile and I've been caring for them as well, particularly over the last 7 months. Mum had a fall. She's had dementia for a long time. And she hasn't been able to walk since the fall, which has been really horrible. And, she's 81. She's still fairly healthy body-wise, but now because she's been in bed for 7 months, she's just not able to walk, which is really, really, really sad and really hard to see her like that. And a lot of her, life force has gone. She used to be really energetic and bubbly, and yes, she still has her moments, but it's just not the same, and anyone who's had aging parents, when you spend a lot of time with them, it's really, really hard to watch them age. But you know what? I'm grateful that they're still alive. My dad's 87. He's had prostate cancer, diabetes. He's had 4 heart attacks. He had shock treatment on his heart 10 months ago, and he's about to go in about 2 weeks again to get shock treatment again. So basically they stop your heart and they restart it when they do the shock treatment. It's very invasive. He did feel better after the last one that they did 10 months ago. However, who knows how these things go. I mean, I think medicine is great in some ways. However, there's always going to be an element of risk. And, he's also very fragile. It's been really hard emotionally for him as well, because him and Mum have been married 55 years and they're the most adorable couple. And while we've had our differences over the years. We've had our challenges, and we headbutted for a long time, my dad and I. We didn't get along for many years. However, thankfully, for most of our lives, we have got along and we are very close. And I do have the most adorable parents. I'm so grateful for them. And, I think when we have family and friends close to us, I think it's really important to make the most of the moments that we have with the people in our life. They say people come into our life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. And I think sometimes we take people for granted in our life. So I'd like to say, please make time for those you love, because we never know when things will change, when circumstances will change, and when you won't have that quality time with them anymore. So really make the most of it. And I am grateful for everyone who has come into my life to this point. My friends, my family, my mentors, everyone who's challenged me in some way, I'm grateful for. And my good news is today, or so much good news, we launched our Fear to Freedom book last Saturday in Sydney. Here it is here, Fear to Freedom Series 1. We have 13 extraordinary authors in here from across Australia. We had a sold-out book launch in Sydney at Daltone House. It was amazing. Over 100 people, and a huge thank you to Barbie Barb Collections for sponsoring that. And I want to showcase some beautiful trophies that the amazing Rita Barbagallo organised for us. Now this one she gave to Leanne and I. Look how beautiful this is. Fear to Freedom Series 1. It's got the names of all the authors there. And here you can see congratulations Aldwyn and Leanne. For that, and it's just an absolutely beautiful trophy. And it says on there, it says passion, teamwork, effort, respect, and courage on that section there. It's really, really beautiful. So huge thank you, Rita, for that. That's absolutely beautiful. And then for each of the authors, she also organised one of these trophies as well. It's a really stunning trophy. It's got a cover of the book there on the front of the trophy, and it's just such a wonderful gift and thought for the launch. And then it's got the title of our chapter is actually on the front of it. So mine was Love Your Life and Live Your Love was the title of my chapter. It's got my name there. Really, really beautiful. Absolutely love that. And then the other good news is that I was at the BX Business Excellence Awards on Friday night in Sydney at the Shangri-La in Sydney. And I won the media category, and this is the award for that. So I'm very, very grateful. I was up against some very stiff competition there, and I won. It's the media, PR, publishing and production category, although interestingly the award actually says productive at the end instead of production, which is hilarious because you do have to be productive to do all those things, to be in the media and do PR, publishing and production services. The productive services, being productive is a work in progress, right? A constant work in progress. So that's the good news, is that I won that award. Also, on the 8th of the 8th, August 8th, the Lionsgate, we also have the annual Good News Day. We've been doing this now since 2018. So this is now the 8th year. I had to work that out. I thought it was the 7th year, but it's actually, if you work it out, it's 2018, 19, 20, 21, 22, as in 2020, 22, 23, 24, 25. So it's the 8th year. The 8th year of the Global Good News Challenge, or Global Good News Day, the Good News Day. The Global Good News Challenge has been going for 5 years. That's a monthly challenge, but the Good News Day is annual. And that started... Well, I was celebrating my niece's birthday, is the 8th of the 8th, but also my fourth friend actually suicided. I've had four friends suicide by the age of 45, and my fourth friend suicided that year in 2018. And I thought, all this negative news in the mainstream media, and, I've worked in the media for 20 years myself, and so I've seen firsthand the negativity and how it can affect people's mental health. when you're watching constant negative news, and that some people say that's what CNN stands for, is constant negative news. But really, it's a choice as to what we focus on. What we focus on will grow. And this is where the whole concept of Good News Day, the Global Good News Challenge came from, is to help lift the energy on the planet and to actually be the change we wish to see in the world. As Gandhi says, be the change you wish to see in the world. And I think it's so important. So many people whinge about what's going on in the world or things that they don't like, but what are you actually doing about it? And I know some challenges out there can seem massive. You think, gosh, how could I do anything about it? However, simple little things like this, sharing gratitude on a live video, sharing good news, you will feel better. And the people who see your videos will feel better when they hear your good news. And it's also free marketing for you. We share your videos out to thousands of people. You never know who you might inspire with your story. You just never know who needs to hear your inspiring story. And it could be the smallest thing. It doesn't have to be groundbreaking news. It could be anything. If you can't think of any good news for yourself, there are lots of good news websites out there. There's Good News Network. There's Sunny Skies News. Most mainstream media also have good news sections as well. So there is a lot of good news out there. It's like the yin yang of life. What we choose to focus on will grow. Now, unfortunately, with the mainstream media, there's a lot of fear mongering. There's a lot of clickbait. There's a lot of belief that you have to have, negative news to sell the media. Bad news sells. Well, I think good news sells. And I think it's about time that we shared some more good news, some more gratitude, and be grateful for what's going on in our life, because, it's always a choice. You can wake up miserable and whinge about what's going on in your life, or you can wake up and be grateful, or live your life being grateful for everything, for all the ups and downs and challenges, because all the challenges just make us stronger, right? They all just make us stronger. It all makes us who we are today. Thank you so much for joining me today. Here is my day 3 of 8 of the Global Good News Challenge. Hope you've got some inspiration from that. On Good News Day, on the 8th of the 8th, I encourage you and I challenge you to share some good news on that day. Even if you don't do the monthly Good News Challenge for August, on Good News Day, we encourage everyone to just share some good news on that day. And let's see the power of that. Okay, Good News Day, the 8th of the 8th, the Lionsgate, the 8th annual Good News Day as well. It's going to be amazing. So look forward to hearing your good news. And what are you grateful for? Let me know in the comments. What are you grateful for today? Thanks again for joining me. I'll see you tomorrow for my day 4 of 8 of the Global Good News Challenge. Much love. Take care. Mwah, and God bless. Bye.